Hey guys, welcome into Battle Brothers eSport Tournament. This is the third episode, and I'm joined here with my partner in crime, Shinobi.
Puggo love being here.
And this is going to be a good one today. We got some awesome guys. We have one of the guys actually streaming right now on Twitch. Big news here with this tournament. We're going to get into it in a second. But as we're starting in, let's look and see what this Origin has for us today. Let's see what they end up picking here. It's going to be interesting. Anticipation. Peasant Militia.
Is it the Peasant Militia? Oh, the human wave is coming at you, folks.
Oh man, this is going to be interesting. I will say the map seed today, guys, if you want to join in and be a part of this, is going to be Maple Leaf altogether, lowercase. Shinobi, what are we thinking about this run here, the Peasant Militia?
Well, you know, Puggo, honestly, personally, in my Battle Brothers ventures, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I am a peasant in everyday life, so I like to indulge in the finer brothers, the nobles, the hedge knights, but the numbers can never be discounted. You've got spear walls galore. You've got all the range in the back row you could ever ask for. This Peasant Militia run is going to be so exciting.
Yeah, I'm on the same page when it comes to that. Really, you gotta love the high-end bros that you can get. Granted, in a tournament format, though, it's very nice, especially because of the fact that you can have so many brothers at your disposal, and finding like the really low-end type of brothers is going to be so key to this run, honestly.
You know, I'm looking for lots of thieves, lots of farm hands. If you can get lucky and find an apprentice, always a good addition to the Peasant Militia.
Oh, 100%. All right, so we're just waiting on one more guy here. Let's see what happens. Everybody is ready to go, boys. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go!
Go!
And there it is, guys. They're gonna be running off. Shinobi, what are we looking for in the first, the first coming days here?
So in the first couple days, if I was part of this tournament in the Peasant Militia, I would look to hit up a town, grab the cheapest brothers I could find, because you're definitely looking for quantity over quality here. And then I'm going to run out. I'm going to grab my first mission, try to get some of that renown, try to get some levels on my brothers, going to grab some kills, hit 3 of those metrics right off the bat. And of course, with the Peasant Militia, brothers alive is going to be one of the biggest categories I think we're going to have to weigh today. Look at them all go.
It's interesting. Like, what do you think about the idea? Like, are you going to take the time to figure out, this is the best brother that I have, I need to keep him aside? Or do you just say, hey, smorgasbord, here's the whole boat, we're just going to throw the whole, we're going to just throw it all out there and see who ends up sticking? Because the time limit is really where, you're looking at an hour and a half. What's really going to matter to you in that militia mindset?
In this militia mindset, I have a bunch of disenfranchised peasants that are tired of the nobility stepping on their necks. I don't need quantity or quality at all. I need quantity. I'm not going to take time to look for that brother. I'm just going to add him to the roster and throw stuff at the wall until something sticks.
Oh, for sure. And this is the thing, guys. When you're playing these tournaments, you have to understand that things happen at different paces. Some guys are going to start this out and they're going to go wild. You can already see, we can look at our first guy even here, Lil Red Chicken&Rice. Now this guy here is going right into it. He barely looked, he looked at some of his guys, but ultimately he's going right into the fray. But all it takes is for things to go south right away or go south halfway through the 30-minute mark, where you're going to see, anything can happen. That's the beauty of these, at least the beginning. Strategies. We've seen Sherbert, for instance. Why don't you talk a little bit about Sherbert and how, he was slower, but, how he pretty much panned in the last tournament.
So Sherbert is one of the most beloved and vocal members of our Discord, and he kept coming to me saying he does not like the speedrun format. However, I kept countering with, this isn't necessarily a speed run if you just focus on a few things, if you do the right things. And we saw in that last tournament how he was able to fully execute on his hour and a half and take second place, just a solid second place, which for somebody that doesn't like the format at all, I'd say is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, and that's definitely key. There is just sometimes slow and steady can win this race, believe it or not. If you're coming into this with the expectation, I have to be the fastest at getting those kills. Well, kills are only 3 points as a high-end metric. Second place is going to be 1 point behind you, so you have to be able to accommodate other areas. Some are going to think that that's super simple. Some guys are going to be taken by surprise. We'll have to see what happens. But I just want to go back. I want to go back to Chicken and Rice right here. He's facing some dire wolves, and numbers is great, but the armor and stuff that he has is not so great. I have a bad feeling this could be a loss somewhere on the line here.
We've all heard me talk about how dire wolves are an early game run ender. Well, not if you have 12 brothers off the start. They're not.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If dire wolves only can eat so many dudes.
That's very
They're
true.
only going to get so full. And he's really using those nets effectively. He's really pacing this battle in his favor. And another net right there. Bam. He's got these dire wolves on lock. And I don't think he's going to lose more than 1 or 2 brothers. Absolute worst case scenario.
As that happens, man, here he is down to 3 HP on this one brother here. And that's what that's the fear right there. Those 3 strikes. Granted, again, yes, they're in the nets. The dire wolves have more chances to actually pull the nets off. That's one interesting little thing. But hey, if they're wasting their time doing that, that's definitely a huge part of this. That strategy is going to work out greatly. The next thing I want to bring in here in terms of talking about these guys, you look across the map here. Vincent just finished his first battle. He's actually doing the exact same battle as Mario and Tosti. So yeah, the great way. He's already off to hitting the ground running essentially. But yeah, we'll just have to see who's really taking the most brunt. And there goes the first loss for Chicken and Rice. That dire wolf took him on pretty good there. We got some other injuries. What are you kind of looking at here, Shinobi?
I'm going to look at how well my clairvoyance is working out. If he doesn't lose more than 1 more brother, I think I'm on point. However, on the flip side, I just want to say really quick, it's so interesting to watch these map seeds play out and just see how the RNG and the programming of Battle Brothers works. What towns you get to, what missions you have, and seeing 3 of these guys strike out on the same one is really cool.
Oh my gosh! And on top of that, I just saw I don't know if you guys ended up noticing that morale check. The dire wolf took the bite to be able to run away, which honestly was the best case scenario. He's saying it's over. You're darn right it's over. If that dire wolf would have taken that 3rd strike, he would have definitely lost somebody with guys running away. So that couldn't have worked out any better. But yeah, the next one I do want to jump down to is Tosti here. Tosti he has taken at least 1 loss. It looks like 3 losses. Oof.
It could be at this rate. Your brothers might face a direction when they fight, but they all fall the same way when they die.
Yeah, and clearly on their back, you can see a few guys. The one guy just died from bleeding. This little bastard down here is gonna run away. Oh man, this is crazy.
So early on.
Right, no doubt.
I expected that out of the dire wolves. And we saw them get handled with relative ease, I will say. Like in the Peasant Militia, losing 1 or 2 guys that early on is not that big of a deal.
It looks like I'm not really sure what happened here. I don't know if he got rid of some guys. I guess I'm at a loss for words here. It showed 1 guy bleeding out, but when it we'll track that with the other guys there in a bit. I do want to say Vincent ended up making a wild transition. He took 1 kill. He killed somebody to start, or he did the first quest. You can see that Mario's still on. And then he took a caravan mission. He started making his way north, and now he's taking on some Noxiers. And of course, we have ourselves a 3rd tier Noxier running in to the fold. What do we think about this, Shinobi?
So I'm going to give you guys a peek behind the curtain. Something that we talked about with the bonus points was the deadly enemies, and I proposed we should add the level 3 Noxier to that. Puggo and Meepo countered with, you run into them very early on, and they're not that bad to take out. At that point, I had never seen one this early and countered, but here I am being proven wrong. It's like with the number of brothers he has, if this level 3 Noxzerher ends his run, I'm going to be very disappointed because they are relatively easy to take out, especially if you have the number advantage with those reach weapons. None of his brothers getting eaten right now are going to make or break this battle.
Right.
You know, so we're looking. He's taken out the level 1s with very good efficiency. He's got 12 guys. There's only 5 of them left. If he can't just surround and take down that level 3, I don't know, tickle me pink. If he has to restart this run because of that level 3 Nacho, I'm going to be very surprised.
Yeah, I think he's got that spear wall going on right now, which is obviously going to help out a great deal. I'm not too worried so much as that, but in terms of taking a few losses, you want to keep your band strong. You want to have as many brothers as possible right in as you get into the fold. You want to have the brothers to consolidate, be a part of that, just like have the full group. You want to be able to boost those levels up. Those are all metrics that we're looking for. On top of those kills, Noxzers are great for getting extra kills. But this big bastard could eat somebody, attack somebody, cause a bunch of mayhem. And we already saw with Chicken&Rice, he ended up having those morale checks. And that's all it takes. You can already see right now there's one brother who did get a little bit of a beating. Them on the high ground. This may not be the worst thing in the world. He still has the numbers, but hey, things can go south.
And you know, I got to say, that's one of the things with this peasant militia. You don't have warriors. You don't have people that are used to seeing death and carnage around them. You're going to have to face a lot of morale checks. Your guys are going to break. Oh, the Noxer just healed. That's a big problem.
Yep. And
you know, let's hope he eats that brother that's trying to run away, because then he cannot influence anyone around him with his cowardice.
Well, making everybody run away. He does have the boost as well. Looking at some of these other ones, Mario just finished his first fight here. This is the first fight. Granted, some of these other guys are on their second to third fight. One guy just finished with the second fight. So, yeah, he's in. You know, he took one injury, didn't lose anybody. But again, this slow and steady can still win the race, believe it or not. And that's what we saw with Sherbert earlier on. I want to kind of switch screens here for a second. We go back to Chicken&Rice. He's taking some injuries here. I don't think it's the end of the world, but I think he's going to be fine. You just hate to see the injuries across the board. You hate to see damage across the board because these guys have such low armor at this point. And then finally, I want to jump down to Tosti here. Tosti's been just consistent, I'd say. I don't know. I think he lost a brother in the just previous, not that long ago at least, but he's still, I don't know. He's just kind of gearing up for whatever is next, we'll say. Nothing too crazy going on there. But Shinobi, I want to ask though, so let's start right down the row here. Going back to Chicken&Rice, you saw him prior, right? You saw him in the practice runs?
Yeah, so this last week I have taken time out and worked with Chicken&Rice, and he has picked different background origins to attack our format with, just to see what he could accomplish. And I gotta say, most of the runs weren't able to score because this is a guy that just likes to go balls to the wall. He gets after it. He's like a 40-year-old Randy Couture against Tim Sylvia, just getting after him and taking that heavyweight belt again. He'll risk everything just for those points.
Right on. Guys, we're going to take a quick second here. All right, guys, we had to speak with Mario real quick. Shinobi was talking. He did have the Fangshire. Luckily, he did put it on his frontline brother. The guy, he didn't have anything that changed the game or anything. We went over the rules with him. That didn't get mentioned during our pre-game session, we'll call it. So, with moving on from there, though, let's actually move on to Mario. Have you seen Mario at all in combat? At least how he plays?
I have not. I've not seen Mario. Mario was the guy that I actually reached out to be an alternate for this tournament, and it ended up working out that he got in. One thing that I am concerned about with Mario's run right now is the mood of his peasants. Peasants are a fickle bunch. A lot of them are dissatisfied or angry, and it's something that is really rare to see this early on in the peasant run. Once you win a couple fights, your mood lifts, you hit a tavern, but he just doesn't seem very concerned with that at all.
You know, and again, I keep finding the same comparison. Just granted, guys, we've only been seeing him for 14 minutes. Man, how time flies, right? But for the last 14 minutes, he had the one quest. I think he just took on another one a second ago. But here he is going against the next opponent. But I still see him as a Sherbert type of comparison. He's very conservative. We'll have to see how it progresses here. Really, that's what it's come down to. Because if he can keep his crowns intact, if he can keep the kills intact, he can keep the levels high.
And the mood has improved.
Yep, and just getting that, the mood will improve over time here, but it can cause some bit of a rift. So with that being said, let's check out Tosti. So what do we know about, what do you think about Tosti here?
Tosti's another guy that I've seen do a run. He's fairly efficient in what he does. He doesn't take a lot of risks, and the risks he does take seem to be calculated. They pay off. And really quick shout out to Tosti. I just wanted to say, Tosti!
Yeah, and see, guys, I will admit, I've been busy this week with a bunch of different videos and stuff. Hopefully you guys do like if you haven't already seen, I've been adding commercials to the channel, to these. If you haven't seen in the first video or the second one, we're gonna have a few of them in this one, obviously. But if you do have suggestions, let me know for commercials. We're trying to do parodies with Battle Brothers, so you can always be a part of that. Again, I gotta throw it out for the channel's sake. You can always hit that subscribe, join it, so you can always see this. Hit that bell, join. If anything, join the Discord, so you can be a part of this kind of content. It's such an awesome thing. There's guys right now, I can look over and see there's guys in general having a high time. You can meet a lot of great Battle Brother players. We have streamers now on the Discord talking and whatnot. Beowulf, or Bravo Wolf rather. And
Bravo Wolf.
Yep.
And speaking of streamers, we've got Vincent down in the corner that has been fighting barbarians for the better part of 5 minutes, and it is a knockout, drag out brawl. Guys, check him out, VinnyTheNose at Twitch.
Yeah, definitely great. You know, and this is the thing, guys. It's not about me. I want to get that out there now, since I have your attention. It's not about me and the channel.
2 of them got up. Oh, sorry, Puggo. But
What
2
was
of
that?
them got up. I got excited. Two of his brothers got back up.
Oh
He
my
only lost.
gosh! Well, that's
I got very excited there. Sorry for interrupting.
no, yeah. So I mean, it's not about me so much as it is about the community, guys. This is what it's for. I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are enjoying it, so other people can be a part of this, to see this at the least bit. Smack that like for a moment. All right, let's get back to it, though. That was pretty wild. We do have
Chicken and rice.
Chicken and
look
rice.
at chicken and rice with that spear wall
He's-
going on
he's
against
just-
those nachos.
Yep, he's going in with the spear wall. This has been a tactic used in the last 2 tournaments as well. Obviously, it's going to be effective. Anytime you're playing Battle Brothers the first coming days, if you can get your hands on a spear, warding off the beast, warding off the enemy in general, what an awesome thing to see.
Absolutely. Mario over here taking on some brigand thugs, and he's got a really good opportunity to pick up some shields for his front line here. He's got a good opportunity to pick up some decent armor.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I gotta say, somewhere, Rock Prime will be watching this. He'll be so happy because Mario has that iron hook on the back line. He must have bought that. It's been such a good weapon for people thus far. Definitely a cool thing.
And the champion of those people will be proud.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so what
I don't know who those people are, but he says he's the champion of them.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see. As time goes on, guys, as we get farther down the line, we will have the champions go against each other. There will be different modes where we're gonna do expert, low. You know, we'll do all that EEL or LLE or EEL. Jeez, I can't say it. But that is coming down the road here. We just are trying to get established first. We will start doing other things, upgrading this with highlights and so on. With that being said, Shinobi, why don't you go over the metrics here and all how people are accumulating points?
All right. So the way that we figured that we were going to break this down in the most fair manner was to take several of the most trackable metrics and break that down in first, second, third, and fourth place, allotting a point allocation for each place. So if you take first place in any of these, you get 3 points. If you take second, you get that 2. If you take third, you get 1. And if you take fourth, you get 0 points. The big ones are crowns, renown, your number of brothers alive, which I think is going to be a big factor in this run, the levels on those brothers above 1. So even though brothers alive might give you a benefit from spending a bunch of money at the end of your run for extra brothers, you're not going to get a level bonus from them, and it's going to cost you in the crowns department. So just different things to think about when you're figuring this up. One that we haven't seen very much, we saw Mr. Meepo head down to the arena and try to take it on. Backfired on him, but arena wins is another 3-2-1 metric. The kills that your brothers acquire, even your dead brothers in the obituary count. And we're going to say the number of very friendly relations or higher you have with towns.
Right on. Anything else? Anything
So
else you
we've
wanna
got
add to it,
bonus
or?
points. So
Yeah, yep.
taking on dangerous enemies. I mean, unholds, sure, they're scary, but we've all fought unholds. So taking on a frost unhold will net you a bonus point if you win. Taking on a hex will net you a bonus point if you win. Taking on necrosavants are 1 point apiece. Taking on a lindworm is also 1 point, because all these enemies are fearsome. Not a lot of chance you're going to run into them in the first hour and a half, but man, if you do, that 1 point can definitely make a difference, unless you're playing against Gordon Comstock.
Yeah, right. I do want to jump in here real quick, because we have Tosti over here, and he's facing. There was a battle going on with some nomads in the south. These are the second tier nomads. I'm trying to think, not cutthroats. Losing my train. I can't think of the name all of a sudden. Of course, it's not hitting me. But the point is they have some really great weapons here. If he can capitalize on this, those 2 pole arms could change the game for him. Even if he's not going after every kill and going wild, this is huge. This could be a breaking thing here for his company.
100%, it could be a huge breakthrough. I mean, a lot of that southern armor people tend to look over, but it has a very, very good durability to endurance ratio, or fatigue ratio.
Right. Yeah, I just get so caught up on these weapons. But I will say too, I got to bring this up as we're waiting to see what happens with that fight. I do want to go down. Well, he just backed out of his brothers, but man, I gotta say, Vincent is looking kind of rough here. He does have his brothers intact, but we got guys who have permanent injuries. We have guys who have that are really low on health, and I don't know. It's a pretty rough situation, honestly, right now. We'll have to see.
I gotta say though, Puggo, when I'm doing this peasant militia, everyone is expendable 100% of the time, unless you're like Despicable Dick and you get that 3-star brother, then you try to build your whole company around him.
Right. All right, so then we have ourselves up here back. I want to kind of look over. You know what? Let's go back to Tosti real quick. So he's using this strategy, knocking them out. He ended up killing the one guy already. Look at this minimal damage. He pretty much just used some brothers to knock them out, hold them in place, and then take them down. You can see now he's striking on the back line. This is phenomenal. This is exactly what you're looking for.
Puggo, I'm so proud of these guys and the way they've been utilizing nets. If he can grab that shield, that is going to be the center stone, like the corner piece of his whole front line. once he gets his hands on that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're 24 minutes in, guys, and Tosti has himself the iron hook. He's about to have himself possibly, I can't really see it with his brothers right now, but he's possibly going to have 2 pole arm maces, pole maces. And yeah, I mean, and with that shield, you got all that firepower and protection. That's what you need in this whole tournament here. It's going to make a huge difference.
And especially with the peasant run right now, peasant militia, you're not focused on getting quality brothers, just equipping the little scumbags that you have currently.
Right. All right, let's keep an eye out here. We have Chicken and Rice just finished a battle. We have Mario going for well, honestly, Caravan. Okay, so maybe he's not the fastest guy right now, right? But you have yourself, something I've noticed thus far. It looks like Vincent's going for quests within a certain amount of towns. So he's probably going to get those friendly. He's going to try to go for friendly status between those guys. Then you got Mario, who's running with a caravan quest. Maybe he's not getting a lot of kills. Maybe he's not doing a lot of other metrics. But if he can continue to utilize moving across the map, this could be an interesting... I mean, just seeing apples to pears, pretty much.
Right. And, those are 2 of the metrics that I failed to mention. Your days passed and the actual number of towns you find. So caravan missions are a great thing to take on. You burn up days quick, and you find a lot of settlements with relative ease, just following roads that you probably wouldn't have gone down because you're operating in your comfort zone.
Right. Definitely. I did notice too, if you guys noticed for a second ago, you had he did end up getting the pole mace. He did end up getting the round shield.
But he switched that pole mace out for his hooked blade. I think that's a big issue unless he equips that hooked blade on somebody else in the back.
I think he's just trying to figure out who's the best. Yeah, he's just looking for the best guy. I mean, if he left that in his inventory, I would have a cow right here. It would.
Yeah,
I would lose
Rock Prime had a stroke.
Yeah. So with that, let's see. We have ourselves the fight in the swamp, but I do want to say too, Chicken and Rice has uncovered a great deal of the map thus far. Granted, not a lot of towns so far that I saw. I saw like 3 towns, so we'll have to see once we get to the halfway mark, guys. We are getting close. We're 4 minutes out from getting to talk to the analyst to see what's going on. But with this caravan quest going, he technically, I think Chicken Rice has the most settlements, seeing where this caravan goes.
Oh, and look at that. Got some tools too.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that this caravan will, and it's not going to, but I wanted to hook back south and get him towards that arena to maybe force some adventure into that metric.
I honestly believe right now, looking at Tosti is looking to the south. I'm sure he's watched the tournament, and I'm sure he's watched these tournaments to say, I need to get into the arena and win that tournament. Because this whole time I've been watching him go a little bit more south, so I bet you within the next 15 minutes he will be the first guy to take it on.
Look at him just charging headlong down that road. I'm sure that you're absolutely right that this guy has seen nobody ever score any points in the arena, and he wants to be the first.
Yep. And
however, that's not a southern town. That's not one of the states.
Yeah, he took a hard left, and he needed to go right. But we'll see. I will say, guys, just so you know, if you're new to the tournaments and stuff, we do not know. We don't know the map seed. With this was all predetermined here. We don't know any of that stuff. So
we don't know the start. We just know the competitors and that our lovely voices will be broadcasting.
Yep, pretty much. And then what I will say here, we do have Mario. Looks like he's starting to do the same thing, making his way south. Again, such a big thing, such a missed opportunity on so many other fronts where guys did end up taking it on. But with opportunity can come at a cost, right? And taking on the arena, you don't know what you're gonna face, and maybe you're overly confident in your brothers being in the, like, let's say the 50s for melee skill, or the lower defense. going into these things. You just never know. It's a personal choice they have to pick. But remember as well, you can collect crowns pretty hefty too. There's really a great give and take there. It actually reminds me, you remember a while back when we had Mr. Meepo went out, and when we were starting these test runs, he ended up taking on an arena and he just stayed there. He literally just stayed there the whole time.
Yes, he stayed there, and that's something that I was going to bring up is, one of these days I'm going to go ahead and compete in one of our tournaments, as I'm sure you will, Puggo. And one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to try to establish my company over the first 10 days. And then I'm going to go head south. And I'm going to check the arena out. If it's something I don't feel my top 3 bros can handle, I'm going to try to take a mission in that town, collect the pay, head back, and see what the arena has to offer the next day. There is just so much money to always be made in that town.
All right. Yeah, and that's and guys, with that being said, if you do want to be a part of this, maybe you don't want to be in the tournament, but you want to check this out, you can always join the Discord and be a part of this. We need analysts, guys. If we could get 4 total analysts looking at each, guys, that would be great. There is no pay for this, obviously. We're all doing this out of but this is for the love of Battle Brothers at the end of the day. It's not about me. It's about Overhyped Studios. It's about Battle Brothers. It's about the people that love this game. So if that is you,
it's about the guys that play it.
Yeah.
All of you play this game. It's about you.
Right. All right, so with that, enough of that side of it, of course. We are at the 30-minute mark. Before we jump in, we will bring the analyst guys in just a second. I do want to say we have our first Raider fight with Chicken&Rice. He just took out one of the guys. He was going for headshots there. He might get that armor. We'll have to see in a second. And, he just took a strike. But besides that, we have Mario on the other side here. He's facing the WebEx. How do you say it? I call it WebNex. Had somebody overseas get mad at me for messing that up, but I call them Webbers or Nevers, or Webbers. So, yeah.
WebNex.
Wow. Whatever. We're English. We don't say it right. You guys get it. It's a freaking spider. So, and we have the same. Oh wow, Vincent now is doing the same thing down here. So that's interesting enough. This is a fight that can get really deadly here.
Oh my goodness, right? With all the web, the poison. You got a lot of things stacked against these poor little peasant fellas right out the gate. They're trying to rise up against the nobility, not the Spider Queen.
I'm curious here. This actually, based on the numbers, as long as there's a spawn rate on Vincent's screen, this could be a very dangerous fight for him. There's a lot of reliances going to happen with your brothers. As soon as you get webbed up, all your stats are being pulled. You have to be on your A game. It's not hard to believe that you could lose a brother in this fight.
Gotta say something I'm really disappointed in seeing. Vincent has all of that high ground around him with bros that have reach weapons, and he is not taking advantage of a single piece of it, and you're seeing the Vebnects move in right now.
Yeah, so the Webbers here, we'll see what happens. We're going to hold off on going to the 30-minute mark, though we are there. We have to see what happens here. It looks pretty good. I don't know. It looks like there is a spawn rate because there are two of the spiders dead. So, oof, he's missing a lot of this stuff. This could be... I know it may not... Well, he's getting some kills. It seems like a 50-50 situation. You have Mario up here. He's going to be just fine. So let's keep an eye on Vincent here. He is getting some of those kills. Man, look how close those eggs spawned. That's probably the closest I've ever seen. That's That's only 4 tiles away.
4 tiles away.
3 tiles. 3 tiles away. I've never seen that.
And I'm really disappointed. I was hoping that Vincent was going to take the high ground with his pitchfork brother that just missed on that webneck that stole it from him. He's in a really bad situation right now as far as the RNG and the rolls can go.
Well, we'll see. So far, I'd be more worried. Guys, I look at this fight and I'm not saying that, he's going to lose or anything like that. But what I do see is there's a real chance that he could lose a brother by being surrounded. You see they're just spawning right there. They're able to spawn and get right on you like that. And that is the problem. That's why I'm very shocked. This north side here, you got the one brother. He is not doing so hot. Once his morale check hits, there it is. That's what I was worried about.
Puggo, this is one of the best moments in our tournament history. We've got 2 spider fights. We've got a direwolf fight. We've got a nacho fight with a level 3 nacho. This is exciting stuff. Redemption, Baba Ganoush, I'm sorry that we haven't taken it to you yet, but gosh, these competitors are just going at it.
It's crazy. It's really crazy, and they have to compile these stats as this is happening. We're gonna wait for it to calm down. The kettle's hot, we'll say. You know, it's a tough deal here.
Oh, she's a discipline.
Yeah, and this is looking really bad for Vincent. I'm honestly, guys, this might be the end of Vincent here. I hate to say that, but he is just... This is the problem with webnecks. They overwhelm. Those eggs aren't even done hatching. That's the dirty part of this. And I believe there should be at least 2 egg sacs.
Plus probably 3 more spiders left in the one that we're looking at. Just 3 tiles away from his first brother.
Okay, good enough at least. He did get a kill right there. One of the Webbers is running. Well, man, it's and the final 2 have hatched. The one up on the top here, but man, he's I think he's gonna come out. He's gonna come out of this, but yeah, we're gonna just have to keep an eye on. You can see right here, this is a scary situation. You have Chicken and Rice. I'm not gonna. I'll zoom in on him real quick. Well, let me just see. Okay, it looks like Vincent's gonna come out of this fine. Well, I don't know. Maybe not fine, but
I'll keep an eye on the 4 action if you want to zoom in on Chicken and Rice.
Well,
with that level 3.
I'm gonna actually zoom back in on Vincent. We got to keep an eye on Vincent. I think the other guys are gonna be fine. Vincent is going through hell right now.
Oh
yes.
no!
But look at this. Look at this though. The webnecks are running away. So he must have killed just enough for them to do exactly what the direwolves did, where the direwolf took that kill and was, or he ended up killing he killed somebody and then was like, okay, I'm done. Oh my gosh. They literally
Only
just saved him.
One brother.
They
Holy
literally,
cow.
they saved him. Okay, so now let's just keep an eye over here.
We've got that level 3 nacho is just getting beat on, but those poor peasants don't have the gusto.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be fine, guys. We have to get to this break. So let's start bringing in Baba Ganoush, and we'll bring in Redemption here. All right, guys, we can. Yep. So we can hear you guys now. We'll go one at a time here. Baba, what do we have going on with your guys there?
Vincent, he's been absolutely steamrolling. He has about 40 kills. Whilst Mario only has like 18. Yeah, and at the time right now, Mario has around 800 crowns, I think. Vincent has about around 2,200 crowns. Vincent has 9 days. Mario has 6 days. But as you saw in that fight with the webconnects, Vincent lost 1 guy. I thought he would lose all those guys, but he only lost 1 guy. So he has 8 brothers right now, whilst the Mario has 11. But Mario only has 2 levels, whilst and Vincent just fulfilled an ambition, whilst Vincent has 17 levels.
Wow, it's so, isn't it crazy how close? Like, just getting your perspective on this, Baba, the fact that his run literally could have ended right then and there in that webneck fight. The fact that the webnecks walked away. If Vincent wins this, he won because the game showed mercy. You guys, am I wrong? I mean,
Baba, no, not at all. And you know what? He got a lot of levels out of that fight too.
Right, Baba. What do you think about that, man?
Ooh, I was so it was so hard to watch him and both Mario. They were doing the same fight, but I was mostly looking at Vincent since he was just getting destroyed, and I was erasing and adding because he was losing. He was very.
I gotta say, Baba, like from where we're sitting, it does not look like Vincent would be in the lead. But from what you're saying, the metrics are talking different.
Well, yeah, but it's all about all the bonus points as well.
Right, and I gotta say too. Or go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, he's definitely been on top with kills.
Well,
I do have to say.
And just think too, we have the other side too to go over yet, but he's obviously doing well. So we're gonna bring back in Redemption. Okay, so what do we know, Redemption, on your side of the aisle?
So I'm taking care of Lil Red Chicken&Rice and Tosti, and they've actually been almost shadowing each other in their play style and just like actions they take to try and garner some points. Right now, we're sitting with Toasti at about 10 days. I think Lil Chicken&Rice is about 9 days, maybe even made up to the 10-day mark. Tosti is starting to take the lead a little bit in some settlements. He's starting to branch out and explore just a little bit more. But early on, they were just sitting neck and neck. Days, settlements, brothers, they have a consistency at 10. They like to both hold about 10 brothers at all times. Levels, Lil Chicken&Rice has found some bloodier battles, and so he's sitting at 13 levels on his men that I have counted at least. And with also a 38 kills total, and he's just taking care of 3 serpents right now that will put him over the 40 mark here. But yeah, it's just like the bloodiness of Lil Chicken&Rice has got him a lot of levels amongst his men. He's typically staying or keeping his men alive, so they're good to go and keep on gathering those levels. Tosti, on the other hand, he's taken about the same amount of fights, but he's taken a couple of direwolf fights where there's just not a lot of bodies, and it takes him a little bit longer to complete. And so he's fallen behind the curve just slightly in that aspect. He's sitting at 9 levels with 28 kills. And so, yeah, I think they're both following suit pretty well. They're typically staying around 1,000 crowns or somewhere in that range. And so I think, yeah, just 2 almost twins. Maybe Lil Red and Chicken&Rice is getting a little bit more advantages in kills wise.
Very good, yeah. I've kind of noticed the same thing. It seems like they are kind of on par with each other. I don't know. It's anybody's race at this point. I mean, I get even right now. How about this, Redemption? If you had to, from what you've seen, because you've been the one solidly focusing on these 2 guys, which guy do you think is edging out between the 2?
Yeah, that's Lil Chicken&Rice purely because of the kills and levels. Right now, Tosti does have a slight advantage in settlements found and possibly number of days, but I think in the long run, Lil Chicken&Rice is he's been moving a little bit more quickly. It's just he's taken a couple days off to deal with a caravan mission, which he's now finished. I think he'll start to pull ahead in settlements and days here shortly. So yeah, I'd go with Lil Red.
Right on. All right. Well then, all right. So that's gonna be our 30-minute show here. I do want to go over to Shinobi. Shinobi, do you want to add any final thoughts with everything that's been going on right now?
I sure do. You know, these guys have all been fighting very hard-fought battles, but I want to tip my hat to Vincent quick. He's got a brother down there that has been tanking 3 nachos the entire time we've been talking. He's got good armor, a decent shield, a great helmet right now for where they're at. You know, we've got up in the top left, we've got Chicken&Rice, exactly like Redemption was talking about. This guy has been getting after it. He's fighting brigand raiders right now, and he's going to walk away from this fight with a lot of good gear that's already going to boost his good numbers. I feel like Tosti fighting the Webnecks, it's not a very tough fight for him with the number of brothers he still has and the high ground. But Mario just got some javelins, folks, and we know what the javelins have meant in the prior 2 tournaments. So everybody is still in this, and it's really amazing to see.
All right. Well, guys, with that analysis there, we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll see you in just a second.
Grandpa, can you tell me a story about 2020?
2020. A story of adventure, brotherhood, and the purest love. I joined a mercenary band that year, lost my foot to the diabetes, although people did think it was the lindworm. Finally, ended up mugging the love of my life.
Huh?
Yeah, I f***ed that melon so hard.
Oh my god!
Yep, the town was pissed, but I corked that melon something fierce, and I regret nothing.
Grandpa, what the f***?
All right, now that we're back, guys, we had some interesting fights and whatnot. Of course, you have Lil Chicken and Rice here, or Chicken and Rice, or he's got that long name. What the heck? But he's taking
Little
on,
Red Chicken and Rice.
There we go. But he's taking on a bunch of raiders. He didn't get all the armor, unfortunately. There was a lot of good stuff. But yeah.
Gosh, that's a tough break.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want those things, obviously. And he just took one loss. I don't know how much that affects because the guy was in literally rags. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that guy had much purpose on the team in the first place. But yeah, hey, talking about going back to the half or the 30-minute mark, just kind of going over that stuff. It's interesting to me because there's some similarities between Chicken and Rice and Tosti, but on the other side you have Mario and Vincent that are playing a totally different game. And but the truth still be told is that some may look at Mario and say, no, this guy is last place and stuff, just because of how slow things have gone. But I really believe he's doing it in a methodical way that when it's all said and done, it could end up looking like a Gordon situation where not a lot of kills, not but consistency. So what do you think about that, Shinobi?
I feel like I'm going to be surprised if this is one of the most competitive tournaments we've seen up to this point, where these guys are just a few points away from each other in several different metrics, and it's going to be a tough one to score. I feel like it's going to be a tight battle. But I could be wrong, because when we were talking about Gordon, we didn't, we saw what Gordon was doing, but it didn't stand out to us. However, he was leaps and bounds ahead of everyone.
Right. It was a crazy scenario going on there. Guys, we are, because of all the action that was going on at the 30-minute mark, we did go past that. We are currently at 47 minutes. Time is flying by. But why don't we go in and we're going to talk with, let's bring up our first guy here. Hang on just a second here. Sorry.
I gotta say that.
Talk about Mario real quick here. I'll be right back, guys.
Lots going on in this Mario battle. He's got terrain like I could only dream of in a run that I'm going for. So he's got raiders coming at him, but he has that high ground one step away. He could either put his front line right up against the raiders, let his back line do all the heavy lifting from that high ground, or he can just stand his ground right there with his front line. There he goes, making those moves. I think he's going to put his front line on that high ground and just really shut these raiders down. It's going to be an amazing thing to see. Let's hope he gets a few headshots and can get some armor out of the deal.
Right on. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Vincent here. We're going to ask him how he's doing, of course. Of course, we know how this went. Let me just... All right, Vincent, we got you in. Listen, man, you had what a hell of a deal about 10 minutes ago in that fight against the WebEx or Webnex, whoever,
the fucking
man.
spiders. Yeah, this damn spiders, dude.
Oh my gosh, man, that was incredibly intense. We honestly thought, and I'm just gonna be completely upfront, watching it back, you're gonna notice it too. We thought your run was coming to an end. The fact that you killed enough just for them to flee was such a blessing in disguise. What's going through your head? How's things going? What's your thoughts so far?
I don't think I'm doing very well right now. Oh, did I not get them? Fuck. Okay. Oh no, I did get them. Yes. All right. Right now, I'm really just kind of like surviving. Peasant Militia is without a doubt my weakest start. I was literally just talking like to myself because obviously my chat can't see what's going on, or I can't see my chat. But I was like, oh my fucking god, we're gonna die here. Like, I thought we've been dead at least 3 times. The Nacho fight too? Jeez.
Oh, 100%.
One thing though, I gotta say, Vinny Mac always on the attack. You're going after it. You're not shying away, no matter how many of these brothers you throw into the meat grinder, because you know the kills still count in the obituary.
Yeah, once you guys told me that kills count in obituary, I that's what I'm going for right now. Is I'm going kills, and I'm doing a very specific level system. So I'm taking student on everybody, and then gifted after student. That way I'm maximizing the times they hit, which means the damage they do, which means the experience they gain.
Right on. Yeah, it's a great way to definitely look at that. You know, putting those together, it's huge. It's a lot easier to do that too when you have a lot of brothers that you don't have to worry. You know, some guys might say, no, go 9 lives so that way you can keep them alive, right? But when it comes to this, when you have that influx of brothers, you got to take advantage of that. Definitely a very smart choice, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Somebody finally gaming the system.
No, hey, it's strategy, not gaming. That is what it is. All right, Vincent. Well, we are currently at 51 minutes. Good luck to you, man, and we will see you at the end.
Roger that. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Yep. All right.
Oh, it's fantastic to catch up with Vincent. We had a couple of hot mic moments there, folks, just to show you that we don't shy away from things.
Yep, it is. Hey, it's all good. But yeah. So with that being said, we still have these other guys. We're gonna wait till the combat starts to die down a little bit, and then we will talk with these guys. I am honestly worried about Chicken and Rice right now, because we were talking with the way that I'm seeing this right now. He does have a lot of good brothers here. Oh, maybe it's not as bad. I thought it was a little higher up on a hill here, but yeah, height advantage. Looking down on these brothers, he does have a lot of pole arms. That was my mistake. I think he'll be all right. I'm pretty sure he'll be fine. Yeah, he definitely has the numbers on this one. But yeah, we just got fights.
You know, and he should be, as long as the RNG doesn't decide to make an example of him, he should be just fine.
Right. One other fear that could happen, actually, talking about Vincent there. Vincent is, yes, he's facing a bunch of raiders. This could actually work in his favor, because if those goblins kill a bunch of them, he's able to kill the goblins. There may be a named item in this camp, maybe being a little higher off. But the fear that's going on right now is those goblins are no joke at this point. And he just still doesn't have a great deal of gear. So this, in some way, this could backfire. I'm not saying it's going to, but after that web neck thing, I can't even...
You know, it absolutely could backfire when you have this early on 2 bands of enemies that outscale you to this degree. It could blow right up in your face. But you know what, Puggo? He's got to risk it for the biscuit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he's got to do something. But yeah, let's see what else we have. We have ourselves Mario up there. It looks like he's taking him on no problem. This is our first snow fight, at least. We have ourselves, let me see the name again. Here we go, Tosti. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I keep looking at these guys. He's gonna be just fine in this fight, but it's just such a... If I had to put my money down on somebody, I would probably go with Vincent. But I am so like skeptical, because I've had it already in the last 2 tournaments where I thought I knew, and it changed. You know, there was a subtle change. That's how it goes, you know.
And I got to tell you, Vegas would not like this competition. The odds are crazy. They change on the drop of a hat. One bad roll, a whole fight's down the drain. Both of us have been wrong in the last 2 competitions on who we thought was getting after it. And this one, I'm not even throwing my hat into the ring. It's all up for grabs still. These guys are great.
Right. I mean, right now we have 35 minutes left. Time is flying by. We just finished. They just had 2 fights that ended up finishing. Let's go over to Tosti real quick while he's moving about. Hey, Tosti, how is it going, man? You've had a pretty consistent run from what we've seen. You're mirroring another player. We won't say who, but you guys have been very, very consistent. How are you feeling about everything thus far?
Well, pretty rough. Well, not really in the start, but after the initial start, a pretty rough time finding settlements to get some contracts in, because some caravan put me all the way in the back. But actually, right now I'm feeling pretty good about the run. It's going pretty well.
Right. Yeah, I see you're using a lot of the trade goods and stuff. I think that's very respectable. I could see that being scary for some people, but if you can turn a profit in the next 35 minutes, it's gonna pay dividends. But do you have anything that you've noticed, or any kind of like certain strategy you're trying to push for right now, or?
Oh, I had a strategy, but I'm pretty much just winging it with whatever I'm getting at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fair
Okay, this
enough.
is great.
Yeah.
This is right now what I need. I need to sell those goods. So
Yeah.
there we go again.
There,
On the
yep,
wall.
off to the races.
Awesome. So,
Can we get
Toasty, can
scores
I
for
ask?
the amount of kilometers run? Miles being walked.
Yeah.
I think I got
You know,
this
if
one
that
in
was
the pocket then.
If that was something we could track, I'd have thrown it in there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Toasty, how is this run making you feel? Are you getting that fun anxiety?
In the start, yes, but there was a point I forgot I'm in the tournament. I'm actually just playing Battle Brothers right now, but I'm feeling pretty
And you
good.
know,
That's
you know what?
mean.
That's something to be said. That's something good too. You're comfortable.
Yeah.
You're gonna surprise us, I feel.
I hope.
Yeah.
Hope some
Well,
fun
you
things
guys
also
did a ring
happen,
around
by
the
the way.
rosy.
Right. Yeah, we'll
I
have
don't
to.
know if you saw that nomad that wouldn't die and just hitting it for ages.
Yeah.
Pretty much it caught your attention there.
Yeah. Well, hey man, you like I say, you got yourself 33 minutes left, and so good luck to you on whatever happens coming up.
Getting a little red chicken and rice. Well, just in case his computer did that thing,
Yep, it did.
Little
am
Red
just
Chicken
coming
Rice
back.
has himself in a webneck fight, and it's pretty good numbers that he's got to deal with here, depending on how those egg sacs lie and how fast those reinforcements can get into combat.
Yeah, anytime you face the Webnecks, it's gonna be a dangerous fight. I do want to say real quick, guys. Sometimes it becomes like my PC gets a little bit of an overload, and it ends up doing that and then pausing there. I did end up hearing the last second where you said, "All right, man, we're gonna let you go." so yeah, but we'll see what happens with Toasty. I think he's gonna be all right. Nothing too crazy. I did notice though the goblins did override Vincent in that fort, which is really unfortunate because he doesn't get anything for running away. And in fact, if it was a quest, now he's still gonna get the money for the quest at least, so that's a positive. But yeah, I think it's an unfortunate turn of events there. So, all right. Well, while we're moving along here, because we are gonna have to go to a break before long, we do need to look at. Let's go ahead.
Let's check in with Mario or Little Red Chicken and Rice.
Yeah, we'll check in with Mario right now. Mario, how's it going, man? You've had quite the run so far. Slow and steady wins the race. He's doing his thing. It's all working out. We appreciate how you're playing, at least here. How are you feeling about this run thus far?
Oh man, it has been such a bliss to see 4 of my backliners fall down under the enemy's blows, and all of them have come back. None of them want to give up, and I love them so much.
That's something we've talked about. How lucky you've been with those brothers just standing back up, chomping down on the mouthpiece, and staying in the fight.
Man,
yeah, the Mario brothers really are keeping their teeth in their mouth and keeping their fight on the field.
Oh, 100%. I was going to say, too, honestly, it's like you could end up being the Rocky Balboa story here. Looks like he's out, but he comes back with vengeance, man. You have yourself 30 more minutes left of this competition, but man, it's so far it has been a pleasure to just see your consistency. You've been so consistent in what you're doing, and just keep that level head, man. Any strategies you're looking for going or finishing out the last 30 minutes?
Yeah, I'm trying to find selling goods, anything I can sell and have a little bit of cash. With this many men, is hard in this kind of map to do anything really quickly.
Right.
So I feel like kind of have not been the best player that I could have been so far, but I'm keeping up as much as I can. I just try to have my men work in a coherent manner.
Right.
Well, just to help you keep your chin up, we've heard that from 2 previous champions.
Yeah, I don't think I can significantly, sorry for my bad English, think about any brother builds right now. We don't have the time to build them up. We just need to have them survive and fight another day.
Yeah, no, it's a good headspace to be in, man. Well, we'll let you go on that. Congratulations, though, with your run so far, and we will see you at the finish line.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so I'm curious about this because again, you have to be brought back to Sherbert. I keep bringing that up, but I really believe it was Sherbert's story of hitting second place came out of nowhere. Now, you could have asked anybody, and they would have probably said at least, at the highest third place, but couldn't see it past that. And he literally did what other people thought couldn't be done. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. But
well, something to say about Sherbert's second place though was the self-destruction of Mr. Meepo. He had a almost Lemony Snicket level series of unfortunate events happen right at the end of the run.
Right, definitely. Well, with that, I think we have one more person to talk to yet, and it's going to be Lil Red Chicken&Rice. But we do need to I do want to keep on schedule while we have everybody. I think this fight down here with Vincent's going to be fine. He's really got there's only one more nomad outlaw that he has to take on, and he's got the caravan help. And we all know the caravan help of the southern city states is very, very strong. So why don't we do this then here? We're going to bring in Baba Ganoush, and we're going to bring in Pogo Redemption. We'll start again with Baba. So Baba, where are we at with the two guys that you're looking at right now?
I'm gonna be honest with you. After that the first check-in, I completely lost count because we were just talking for so long. So, but from what I've seen right now, Vincent is getting back up. He keeps getting beat down, but he keeps getting back up. He keeps getting those kills. He's really aggressive. It's really nice to see. But Mario, he's still pretty. I think he's on day 9 right now, still. So he's taking his time, but he's definitely doing a good job. Right now he's retreating. He got overwhelmed by raiders, so this can be a major loss for him. But I think for Vincent, he's gonna have a big problem with levels at the end here because all of his guys are dying, and he lost. I think he lost in that goblin fight. He lost a very high-level brother.
Oof. Yeah, and it's crazy because you lose. Like, let's just say, the guys. Think of it like this: if you have a level 6 or level 5, right? Level 5, 6 brother. Those are 4 levels gone. 4 or 5 levels gone. That is a huge deficit to your bottom line there. And great job though, Baba. I know it gets tough when you get into these modes. You have to still kind of keep your eye out. But great job with those metrics nonetheless.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then Shinobi, do you want to say anything about with that? Kind of your thoughts?
No, just hey, bye-bye. You're doing great.
All right, so then we're going to go to Pogo Redemption. Redemption, what are we thinking here with your brothers?
Yeah, so things have been moving nicely. Like I said before, I was feeling like Lil Red was going to start pulling ahead, and he did for the most part. Continue to farm up a bunch of kills. He's sitting at 67 right now, and about 21 levels across his men. He is starting to reach towards building up his group of brothers. He's sitting at 12 brothers right now. One thing that did separate the two is that Lil Red is actually not going around and exploring as much as Tosti. So while Tosti only has 52 kills and 20 levels and 11 brothers, which is all sitting below Lil Red, Tosti did spend a lot of time running around. He's now sitting at 10 total settlements and 2,400 crowns. And then he's sitting at a couple more days ahead of Lil Red at 15, while Lil Red's sitting at 13 days respectively. And so there is kind of a little shift in how they're approaching. I was thinking that Lil Red was just going to continue to move forward with the kills and get back on track with Days. But Tosti did take the shift, and instead of focusing on those kills, he's still saying relative, but he's adding in more and more settlements, building up that crown base. And so Lil Red is only saying at 1,900, which isn't bad itself. And he could look to possibly hire some retinue or make some other changes. But yeah, it's kind of like the comparison between the two.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Just like, again, it's that 30 minutes, 30-minute mark. We have an idea where these guys are going. But between the 30-minute to an hour, everything can change. Like, literally in a blink of an eye, we could have lost one competitor in Vincent. And then you look on the other side here, like Redemption's talking about with these guys. It's just it becomes this odd shift as to what guys are doing. But yeah, if you, I don't know, Shinobi, any thoughts on that or?
Yeah, I feel like the game is constantly changing. The points are always adapting. These guys are just having to constantly change what they're going after, whether they realize it or not. All the metrics keep changing, and it's great.
Yeah. Well, and we'll see what happens at the end here, guys. So with that being said, we're going to go to a quick break, and we will talk to you in a second. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you feel. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. Alright guys, and we are back, and so we have ourselves some fights going on here. Nothing too crazy at the moment. I think everybody's going to be alright. Let me just see here. Mario's got a bit of a bigger fight than he has had, but it looks like it's going to be alright.
You know, a big takeaway I've had so far is that these guys are just throwing meat at the grinder. They're not trying to farm equipment, gear, anything. They have no regard for these poor peasants they're hiring.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I mean, but it's really hard. See, the one thing that makes this run really difficult is the fact that you have to have armor across the board. So it's easy to look at it. I mean, we're talking about guys at day, I don't know, let's say day 15-ish, right? And most of them are still in these like rugged clothing, they just like the like the starting robes or in the grain sacks, and yeah, and then there you go right there. You have Vincent took a loss there. This is a more difficult fight. These guys have good armor, but if he can win it out, it's going to be a really good situation for him. So we'll see. But one thing I do want to do, we need to get this interview done with Lil Red Chicken&Rice. So let's bring him in here real quick. All right, Lil Chicken&Rice. There's the
what's
guy.
up?
How's it going, man? We've been trying to jump over to you here for a bit. Every time we get over, people are in combat. Something crazy's going on. But now you got many thralls. How are you feeling about the run so far, man?
Oh, it's a difficult one, but I'm doing good, I think. Maybe wasting some time traveling, but overall, pretty nice game. Not too many dead, so not too shabby, yeah.
Yeah, oh, for sure. One thing I did notice, one of your big strategies has been outfitting those guys on the back line with, obviously you have that iron hook, you have the other pike there. Huge dividends. You're getting the armor. Very impressive with the armor, too. Just a real solid start. You're staying pretty consistent. Is there anything you're personally looking to do here?
before the end, I will try to have a very friendly relationship with settlement. I don't know if I will go back to the first one that I have open or something like that, but I'm trying to explore at the same time, taking the many settlement if I can before the end. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You know, that's a really good approach. Really good approach, because I don't think a lot of people factor those ones in.
Mm-hmm. Whatever, you know, and that's the thing, without knowing who's doing what and everything, having a plan is going to be the best thing for you. There's a lot of points up to grab, obviously, from the metrics, but as long as you're feeling comfortable and everything, just a heads up, you have yourself 18 minutes left. So
Okay,
keep your eye on that. I will give you a 5-minute update, you know, hey, 5 minutes, and then I'll probably leave it from there. So you just got to be on point with it. So, but other than that, man, anything else you want to say? Otherwise, we'll get rolling here.
It's okay, man. I'm concentrating on doing the best I can and hope to do good in the tournament. Thank you for the invitation. Yeah.
Oh, 100%, man. All right, well, then we will talk to you at the end.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Yep. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. I got to say, I think a sneaky placement, something that could happen, is Chicken and Rice could win this. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. I feel like there's just so much that plays a factor here. There's some guys really doing some work.
You know, I gotta say, as far as the other two tournaments, I had an inkling or a leaning as to who I thought was gonna win. This one, I got nothing, Puggo. I've got absolutely no idea who's in the lead because these guys are all just going after it.
It's crazy, man. It really is crazy. It's nice to see the different strategies come to form. You have Tosti, who's doing the trade run. I mean, he's really doing trade runs. He's not worried about the guys in the back line, really trying to outfit the front line. You got Chicken and Rice that has admittedly gotten pretty lucky with some of the armor that's dropped off of these raiders or whatever else he's faced, but has used the backline strategies familiar to Rock Prime. You have yourself Mario, who is staying very consistent. I think there's something to be said there. He's just taking his time. He's eating through the enemy when he takes him on, and hopefully those level ups will get him in a nice position as well. And then finally with Vincent has showed so much aggression. 2 fights now we've seen where he probably should have died in the web neck one. That one was the grace of Davcool that came upon him, okay? And not even the grace of literally grace of Davcool.
The mercy.
Oh man, it's
the mercy of Dav. Puggo, he just took money from a necromancer too. This guy is a wild card. I don't know what he's going for.
Oh man, yeah. My goodness. We'll have to see. This has been a great tournament so far, guys. If you do like this content, if you're enjoying it thus far, please hit that like, subscribe to the channel. It's less about me and it's more about the community. That's what this is about. And so with that, it's I don't know. It's interesting. You know what's funny to me is that you had guys in the very beginning. Remember how we talked about the arena? We had Vincent where he's going right now. Vincent, and I believe it was Mario. It was either Mario or it was Tosti. They started going south looking for the arena. They did not find it. They ended up going back north. Now we have ourselves 2 guys caravanning their way across the country. On one side of the screen, and the other side of the screen you have a killing frenzy, and finally Mario just doing a little bit of everything. It's an exciting thing to watch for sure.
Puggo, if one of these guys makes it to the arena and wins one fight, that could be the difference in first and second place. It's crazy to me. They're all dancing on the precipice of greatness, and I just don't know who's going to take it.
I don't know either. It's wild. That is such a crazy thing. Imagine being right now, the way I see it, being unbiased, just looking at the competition, I could easily assume between Chicken and Rice and Vincent, it's going to be between those 2 guys. But if, for say, Mario is having and Tosti is having, they're so close. They're like scratching those guys' back from my eyes, for what I can see. But if one of those 2 guys grab the arena, and the only ones who grab the arena, get 3 points, nobody to compete with them. And if they do the strategy at the very end where you sit and wait and rack up the days, who knows? I mean, right now, Tosti's sitting at 20 days, so he might have the lead there. 16 with Chicken and Rice, 13 with Mario, and I'm not sure with Vincent. But, I mean, there is a real possibility. Or, look at it like this. Chicken and Rice or Vincent, they take on the arena. They solidify their position in first place. And again, I'm not saying they're going to win, or I don't honestly know what the point system is yet. But if that is the case, they could literally solidify the win.
Oh, 100%. You know, something else to think about is just a couple of those guys were dancing around the retinue screen with almost enough money to grab one of those retinue members and cinch 2 points. That's another thing. Like, several of these guys are dancing around just enough money to grab retinue members and still maybe take second or third in that category.
It's and I understand why guys don't go for that. They're more worried about the crown aspect, but you got to think, look at all the gear on your brother's body. You sell that gear and who knows where you're going to end up, especially if you've already gotten that much. I do want to say real quick though, Vincent may have a little PTSD with the last spider fight, and here we are with the Webbers again. I think he wants some vengeance on that last fight from before.
You know, and really it's going to depend on where those egg sacs are and how quick the Webbers can get reinforcements, because he's got brothers that are prepared for this time around. Even though he still doesn't know how to take the high ground, I think he's going to be okay.
It's amazing to me the fact that he's had. Well, number one, the fact that the egg sac ended up, they was spawned 3 tiles away from his brothers. Never seen that. Never seen that before. That is insane. So every time they were hatching, he had to keep up on kills with those webnacks coming in. So it's incredible. But other than that, maybe Tosti gets something nice out of this here. He is facing a bunch of raiders. These raiders, what is it? It looks like three raiders and 2 thugs. Hey, take that equipment.
Using that net, these guys, nobody has used nets so far in tournament play, and these guys have abused them, and I love it.
Oh, right. No, this is the perfect opportunity. Start using the things that you would assume to sell. If you have that whatever it's called, the shield javelin thing, use it. You get it? Use it. They're so cheap. You could use that, take out some shields, take it out for priority sake, switching. I mean, there's a lot of different strategies. You could use those. You could use, obviously, the javelins. There's only one guy thus far that I can see that is using javelins. I personally, if I was doing this tournament, I would not use the slings, just because slings come with that debuff in range, like a heavy debuff, but they hit hard. You have that. You have blunt damage with these weapons. So there's so much. Everybody's doing something different. It's a beautiful sight to behold.
It is, and I'm surprised after watching the first 2 tournaments, these guys didn't just load up on javelins. Every time you see javelins in the marketplace, buy them.
Yes. I do have a little bit of a fear here, Shinobi. If you look over to Chicken and Rice, his fight isn't the worst thing in the world, but they've already hit with that with a crossbow on some of those backliners, or actually one of the backliners. I thought there was another guy get hit, but either way, this is a pretty dangerous fight for him at this point. I don't think it's the end of the world, but he has, like, for instance, the exposed head on there, lesser headgear. If he does get hit, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
He's got a couple guys there in rough shape.
Yeah.
And his forces got split. So he has to regroup, recover, set up a line, and just really hope that crossbow starts missing.
Oh, and that he's been hit by the crossbow. He's been hit by the javelins. He's feeling the effects. Two guys with pierced chest, one guy with a pierced arm with a broken nose, and finally the guy down below he's just in rough shape. If he loses, this is the reason why this is important. It's not about the fact that he can kill these guys. Yes, he can kill them. Yes, he can get that headshot on the guy with Oh, geez, I'm losing my words today. But being able to go for the headshot right here. Oh, no, he's trying to push him off. Didn't work. But he has an exposed head. You can take those shots. But if he loses, guys, that's where he's losing points. All them levels that he had can put him down in that category. And the brothers in general.
Right. And, you know, something like this, a fight this late in the tournament, I don't like to see because the risk reward is just not going to pay off, even if you get that chainmail. How much is it going to help you in the last 15 minutes?
Yeah,
you can get much easier kills than this in the last 10, 15.
Right. Oh, man. See, and this guy is just throwing that javelins, causing absolute hell on the guys on the north side there. I mean, it's going wild. He's already got one guy who procced the 9 lives. Guys are starting to wave around the top. This could be dangerous, man. This could change the game for him. He might, if he loses guys, he loses brother, or he loses those levels, he might take a back seat. And I hate to say that, but that's part of the competition. Well, we are, looks like 7 minutes out. So in about 2 minutes, I'm going to be letting these guys know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just trying to look across the board. Man, this is just...
It's just a wild tournament this time around. It's crazy to see all of the ups and downs that these guys have faced. You know, I thought we were going to see this with Davco. We ended up seeing 4 guys just waltz around with not a care in the world in that run.
Mm-hmm.
All of these guys have faced some kind of adversity. They've all had to come back, and that's what we love.
Right, and honestly, right now, Mario's in a very dangerous position. All that time that he's had with his brothers, you see a little bit of wavering going across the board. You got guys running on chicken and rice. I don't want to say imploding, but it could happen that way because in literally 1 minute, I have to tell these guys, hey, 5 minutes left. You have no idea. Your heart starts pumping when you realize time has gone by. As gamers, time is not of the essence. So when you're in a tournament, it becomes that way. Oh no! Look at Mario. Mario got. Oh no! This might be. This is. I gotta imagine. So here's the strategy. If a guy, no, it's too late now. He has to have guys get away. He's got to be able to get away.
To survive.
He's got to have somebody survive. There's so many dire wolves though, but he does have a lot of brothers. If they can survive and get out of there, my goodness. Mario's run, 5 minutes out. All right, I'm going to start letting them know. I'm going to unmute them here.
At the end of this, I would still like to see an "It's a Mario."
All right,
but I'm very fearful.
5 minutes left. I'm going to start going through one at a time here. 5 minutes left. Oh man. Oh man, here we go.
Those dire wolves. How long have I been preaching?
Hold on 1 second, just so he doesn't know. 5 minutes left. Oh man. 5 minutes left. Yeah, I just want to make sure that they don't hear what's going on. Obviously, this is a very intense moment for him. If he hears we're making any kind of jokes, that might be a little salt in the wound. So, but yeah, it's not good.
It's a nail biter. How long every tournament I'm like, these dire wolves are so dangerous. And all run up until this point, we just watch these guys handle them.
Right. Well, right now, as you can see, all that he's gonna have. Oh my gosh! Get off the map! Get off the map, guy! This guy over here is just running around. Oh my gosh! Get off the map! What are you doing?
What is he?
Oh no!
What is he doing?
Get off the map! Oh my gosh!
Get off the map!
Oh, no!
Come on!
Within 5 minutes, hey, you know, it's super unfortunate. You know, this is literally 5 minutes left.
Holy.
Yeah, that's
everybody.
Tough, man. That's everybody.
That's rough.
So yeah, you know, now here's the crazy thing. Okay, so he inevitably does not. So he ends up losing at the very last second. It's really killer, guys, because we won't know the final metrics for his crowns. That's the real damaging thing. But yeah, while we're waiting on this, actually, let's bring in Mario real quick here. I'm just gonna Mario, we wanted to bring you in here. We can see your screen there. Obviously, that last fight, that bastard would not get off the map. We were literally yelling, "Get off the map!" Oh man, but you know, for what it's worth, to have that happen within the last 5 minutes, yes, it's killer, but it could have happened much earlier on. And yeah, how you feel? How you feeling though? How did you feel so far through this tournament?
Well, if I hadn't messed up after I spoke to you, I didn't even see that I agreed to a contract, and then I could not for the life of me find the freaking place I was supposed to find. I went into a panic and I messed it all up.
Oh.
And I actually think it's quite fitting that my company went angry, went a little bit desperate. Maybe my men started yelling at each other, "No, we should go this way. Oh, that way, you fucking idiot." And then when the fight got real and those dire wolves came in, they could not fight together. They could not hold their ground. And this is what happens. Yeah, that kinda is how it should have been. Yes.
I like that. I like that a lot because the whole time we were watching you go through, facing a little bit of adversity here and there, but just plowing through challenge after challenge.
Yeah, honestly, man, I think when it's all said and done, you did a really good job. You were very consistent from what I could see. I don't know who I could honestly crown the dark horse, but you may have really been that category because sometimes it's not about being the fastest. It's not about being the most aggressive. And we've seen that time and time again. So definitely a good job. We have 1 minute left for everybody. So we're going to have you hang tight for a moment here. And we will
Sure.
we'll kind of go over everything in a little bit.
Thanks, Mario.
All right. So 1 minute left, guys. What in the heck, man? This is honestly Shinobi. Shinobi, this has been just a beautiful competition.
Pogo, I gotta
an honor,
say,
huh?
holy cow. These guys, like, I expected this out of the first run because I knew all 4 of those competitors. I expected something like this out of the second run because I knew those guys very well. These guys have delivered next level. It has been just nail biting the whole time. You don't know who's in the lead. You don't really know what's happening. This has been the cream of the crop as far as I can tell.
Right on. Yeah. All right. So we got 15 seconds left. And unfortunately, it looks like Tosti's not going to be able to sell his stuff. So I'm going to start on. All right, here we go. I'll let them know. All right, guys, everybody pause right there. Don't do anything. Stay right where you're at. That is where we're going to call the tournament. Unfortunately, unfortunately, Tosti, I see you where you're at right now. That's tough, man. But hey, guys, we're going to go over all the scoring here in just a sec. We're going to get the final analysis, and we will go from there. Well, we'll talk to you in just a second.
Grandpa, can you tell me a story about 2020?
2020. A story of adventure, brotherhood, and the purest love. I joined a mercenary band that year. Lost my foot to the diabetes, although people did think it was the lindworm. Finally, ended up mugging the love of my life.
Huh?
Yeah, I that melon so hard.
Oh my god!
Yep, the town was pissed, but I corked that melon something fierce, and I regret nothing.
Grandpa, what the
Alright guys, the tallying is in. We are all together. We're going to figure out who won the tournament overall. I'm going to turn this over to Redemption. Let us know what happened.
All right, so starting off with 4th place, we have Mario with a total of 3 points. Mario had a pretty rough run, especially towards the end, and really his claim to fame is his relations. He did have a good relation with one town, which got him tied for 1st place in that category. So Mario finishes 4th place with 3 points. 3rd place is going to be Lil Red Chicken&Rice with a total of 16 points. which is phenomenal. And he had a bunch of great points to his game. He was the bloodiest competitor of them all, acing the kills category. Of course, along with that comes the levels. He had tons of levels, lots of brothers tied for first in that category. Just a lot of great all-around stats for his conquering of the Battlelands. So good for Lil Red Chicken&Rice at 3rd place. 2nd place is going to be Tosti with 18 points. Tosti had phenomenal renown, loved by all. He was also moving along at a quick pace throughout the game, tallying some of the highest days. And then he got around seeing all the settlements. Very much a people person, just a lot of good relations that got him a bunch of points in various categories, while also still holding his own in kills and level. And of course, that leaves 1st place to Vincent. And Vincent, as much as I thought Tosti and Vincent were looking about par and par, it was a slight change up with Vincent getting a couple more settlements that edged him just over Tosti. Otherwise, they had pretty much similar stats across the board, as well as Vincent did have a couple more brothers than Tosti. It was just those 2 categories seemed to really put him over the edge, as well as gold. Gold also helped him out a little bit, whereas Tosti might have got a better renown with his relation, but Vincent got enough points to put him 2 over at 20. So that is your 1st place champion of this tournament, Vincent.
Wow.
Congrats.
Man, it was so close. Oh man, you know it's
Holy
crazy.
cow!
Dude, it is crazy. Okay, so we'll go. Shinobi and I will go over our predictions as we go through the list here. But let's talk with Vincent about this one. This is pretty wild, man. You had one of the most you had so far in competition history, whether it be 3 tournaments or whatever, where the nail biting commenced at a very pivotal point. How are you feeling about this tournament? How did you how you feel about being 1st place here?
Well, I gotta say, love the tournament. Super excited. I really enjoyed it. And honestly, I was talking to my chat. I thought I got 3rd maybe, because just how bad that run was. Like, that was such a terrible run. And I'm sure you guys on the casting couch saw that.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the thing was, you had 2 moments where it could have gone either way. To be fair, it felt like you were dead by rights when it came to the web neck fight. We all know about this one if you're watching, of course. The highlights coming up right now. But hey, what were you thinking in this moment? I mean, you had guys webbed up, you had 4 left, and they were right at the cusp of just doing whatever they wanted. What was going through your head at this point?
I mean, honestly, the only thing going through my head was, we're dead, please run, we're dead. And you know, I kind of like paused for a moment, and I was just like, all right, this is it. We're gonna win here, or we're gonna lose here. This is the fight that decides 1st place, in my mind, because if we lost there, I was pretty sure we were past the 30 minutes, so I was out. If we won there, we'd be able to rally, regain, and I'm confident in myself that I could have done that. I'm just glad that we were able to clutch it out.
3 minutes.
Vinny Mac,
Yeah.
always on. Like, just that web neck fight. Puggo and I were just sitting there biting our nails the whole time, going back and forth about what was going to happen. I can't believe you pulled out the win, man. Congratulations.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And then, with that being said, let's go to 2nd place. Of course, we had Tosti, and 2nd. My man, I'll be honest with you. Between all of you guys, it was so freaking close. You kind of snuck up at the very last second, ended up grabbing that 2nd place. I mean, it literally could have been anybody's race at this point at the very end. How you feeling about it? Any thoughts or anything to the tournament?
First off, the tournament is super great. It's a new take on playing Battle Brothers, and I like the competitive aspect of it. How I felt during the entire competition is, well, I lost some time during a few backtracking moves where I landed in a faraway place and have to find other places to do my quests. Other than that, and also the end point was a bit, very clutchy. I could have used another minute to maybe grab some more points, but it is how it is.
Oh, for sure. And one thing that we're, in terms of your highlights and stuff, really the highlight of your whole run, we thought about doing it as Raiders, but it had to come down to your backline, man. You lived and died by that backline with the pike, the iron hook. You had the javelins towards the end, man. Was that really where you were going with it? Or, I mean, it was just, you were just eating people with those things.
Solid group of brothers back there doing hard work the entire tournament.
Was a real improvisation of whatever I could get my hands on, to be honest. And I was really going for javelins much earlier, but they weren't available from the start.
Yeah, it was very close. I mean, when I seen that, I was thinking this is like Rock Prime was their first or second winner. He ended up talking about it as like that was his bread and butter. That's what he was living and dying by, was the back line, and it was eerily similar to that. So yeah, very cool, very good strategy, man.
Thanks.
All right, so then in third place we end up having Lil Red Chicken&Rice. Man, your name is something else. During the broadcast I had to just go to Chicken&Rice, but no, man. So pretty much your run, man, it just seemed like you had one crazy fight at the very beginning. It was against Dire Wolves. And
Yeah.
you've got to tell us about that fight, man, because that was really a dictating factor that we definitely noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I took the first mission and I see the for Dire Wolf, and I'm like, okay, that's a pass or no at the start, but Lady RNG was on my side all the time, so I'm grateful for that. So I could have a pretty good run, I would say. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Shinobi, you want to add anything to that?
I was so scared for you in that Dire Wolf fight, because every tournament I preach about how Dire Wolves will end an early game run, and you handled them with great efficiency. Your brothers took it on the chin. I think you lost one guy. It was a great way to set up your run.
Yeah, wasn't that the where you had all the injuries or whatever?
Yeah, your guys got mauled, but they didn't die.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what saved me was I got like 4 or 5 net at the start, so I could like really predict where they were gonna go. So yeah, I could like stabilize what the injuries were. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
And really, you guys, every single one of you guys used nets at some point, and I gotta hand it to you. Great job. We hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah. And so finally that leaves fourth place. Well, it is fourth place, man. This guy was a consistent fighter. It sucks that we couldn't get that final stat, but ultimately we're calling it the death by 5. Death by 5 minutes. Mario, man, that last 5 minutes, death to 5. You were so close, man, and it just crumbled at the last second. What do you give us your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, thank you for creating this tournament, for organizing everything and taking care of everybody. It's been a blast, and I'm very, very thankful to you guys. I panicked. I couldn't find my objective. I wasted time. I ran out of food, and in the end, my team could not fight as a cohesive unit, and they lost. They lost as well they should have.
Right.
Mario, I gotta hand it to you there, just taking it on the chin and making your brothers just take the punishment that you feel they deserve. That's very admirable in tournament play.
I mean,
in the middle game, at the middle point of the game, they have been very, very commendable. They 4 people died and came back because they did not want to give up, but in the end, they could not handle it.
I feel like that would have been a solid second place finish at least, had that last battle gone your way.
I mean, you had a lot of good things there. You know, if you guys remember from the first or the second, you had Sherbert, and he came in second place. He came like a dark horse into the night. You know, he took that placing, and you wouldn't. I don't know. I wish we could get those metrics to know for sure, but that's part of the tournament, guys. With that being said, I'm going to open up the floor. If anybody wants to give your thoughts, this is an opportunity to let the people know. This isn't staged. None of this stuff is, guys. So I'll leave the floor to you guys.
Well, I just want to back up your "this isn't staged." If you guys want proof that it's not staged, I have the recording.
Yeah, and that's VinnyTheNose at Twitch.
I can talk about the tournament. I really found this format really great. 1 hour and a half, full concentration. It's pretty great and competitive. I really liked it. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
great to share a little bit of what you love with other people across the world, and know that there are people who actually care for this stuff. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah, Mario,
Yeah.
thank you. Our first competitor from Italy.
Yay!
Absolutely. You know, our first tournament featured 4 different countries. Our second was based in the US, and this one, again, multinational.
Very cool.
Yeah, cool.
Anybody else? Otherwise, we'll call it here.
Well,
It's
I
gonna
think
make some
it's a
great
great
content.
way. I think it's a great way to get the community together. That as well. Otherwise, I wasn't really interacting on Reddit or whatever. But this is a great way to do it as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Baba, were you gonna say anything?
It's gonna make some great content.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, just as always, there's going to be more to come. We're going to make these tournaments more extensive. We will do a we'll do like a multi-bracket, harder difficulties, and so on. There's a lot to come, but it takes you guys stepping forth. Help us out. We do need people to be behind the scenes to be able to make this come to life. This is for the Battle Brothers community. Take the channel out of it. It's about you guys. So, with that being said, don't forget to hit that like and join the Discord. You don't have to subscribe. That's up to you. But nonetheless, we will see you in the next one. Bye!